judgment. The Delhi High Court has in fact observed that denying a woman the right to medical termination of pregnancy in a sexual assault case and imposing the responsibility of motherhood on her would amount to, quote-unquote, denying her the human right to live with dignity. Now, the court also said that the victim has every right to say yes or no to being a mother. Justice Swarnakanta Sharma said that to force the victim to give birth to the child of a man who sexually assaulted her would result in inexplicable miseries. This also comes in after 14-year-old rape victim who was in fact 25 weeks pregnant was produced before the court and was permitted to undergo that abortion. This is a historic judgment that's coming out of the Delhi High Court, which has observed that denying a woman the right to medical termination of pregnancy in a sexual assault case and imposing that responsibility of motherhood on that very woman is basically denying the woman basic human right, something which is termed as being historic. And this observation, of course, is under Section 3 of 2 of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act, once again being reiterated that when it is about sexual assault case, a woman has the right to choose whether she wants to carry the child or not. Taking this across to Ananya. Ananya, like I said, another piece of good news on Republic Day. This is something historic that's once again coming out of the Delhi High Court.
Well, definitely, this particular act has been under the radar of the judiciary, and this has been redeveloped in a way or two. Every time we saw judgment coming in from Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, extensively changing the abortion laws, and now again, it has been retaliated by the Delhi High Court's Justice Swarnakanta Sharma that in rape-related pregnancy, a woman has the right to say yes or no to being a mother. Fastening her with the responsibility of motherhood would amount to denying her human right to live with dignity. The court goes on to say that one will shudder to think what is a victim who is carrying a fetus in her womb must be going through each day, being reminded constantly of the sexual assault that she has undergone. And what is also very, very peculiar at this point of time is that the judgment that was rendered by Justice Dhananjay Yashwanta Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India, wherein he had made certain changes with regards to the abortion laws, he also stated that even those who are sex workers or those who have been rape victims are actually entitled to the right to life, and that's the reason why every woman has a bodily autonomy right, and that's the reason why, in fact, they should be given the choice to choose as to whether they want to carry out this motherhood or not. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Ananya. In fact, what did it say earlier, if I were to actually dissect what exactly has brought this landmark judgment? Because we do know how there was a 24 weeks cap to the termination of pregnancy, if I'm not mistaken. That, obviously subject to change considering we're talking about a victim of sexual assault. Is that right, Ananya?
Well, definitely. There was a 24-week cap, but now in this particular case, the court has said that if at all there is a 24-week pregnancy, and because remember that these caps were actually provided for because of the medical conditions and how difficult it becomes at that particular point to actually carry out an abortion that could result into, in fact, a life threat to, in fact, the mother as well. So these caps were placed for that. But then the High Court has clarified that if at all the pregnancy is about 24 weeks, then immediately the woman should be produced before a medical board, a special medical board should be constituted, and then it has to be seen as to whether or not this particular abortion can be carried out or not.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Ananya.